Good morning, everybody. Yes, you can see me in triplicate or quadrillate. Anyway, how many's there? 7 of us there. Anyway, I've used one. It's me again now. It's me. Good morning, everybody. All over the... What?
Stop watching the monitor.
Shut your clack, you. I want to say good morning to everybody all over the world. South Africa, France, Holland, many places. Anyway, we're here. We're going to have a little session. This is our last one before Christmas live, but we have got a little special thing for next Saturday anyway. But this is what we're going to. This is what you need to download and print off before we start. We've already put the download on there. If you just scroll back on Get Creative, the Facebook page, you'll find it. But this is the main template here, this one here. Now you can see it's a star shape. We're still doing a bit Christmassy, but you can use this all year round. It'll come in handy. We're going to be cutting this into two copies of this, and one will bend. It'll all become apparent. I call it a flip and fold, not a flipping fold card, a flip and fold. Now I've also given you, we're all going to be using our own individual papers and patterns that we've used, that we've designed. So Alan and Mary have got theirs, Anne's got hers, etc, etc. I'm going to be using these. I'll show you those in a minute. But I've given you some alternatives, some Christmassy toppers. You've got this one, which is absolutely full of poinsettias. Then you've got this one that's got lots and lots of different Christmas images. There you can see. You've also got these ones, which are slightly larger, and I've got this one here as well. You've got there different poinsettias. It's up to you which size you want to use. Now I've given you some background papers. Some are loose like this, but also there's a file of about 32. So you've got, I think, something like 44 downloadable papers in this Get Creative set. So you've got this one. It's kind of a holographic heart effect in blue and silver. This one's in kind of a different colour, blue and silver with hearts. You can print these directly onto card, or you can cut them out and stick them on the card that you're using. Now you can also use lots of different background papers that we've already given you, for instance like this gold crimpled effect. But you've also got this one, which are nice and Christmassy if you want to keep it Christmassy. You've got this red corrugated effect, and you've also got this green lichen. Some say grass, I say lichen. It's a bit lichen grass. What are you looking at me like that for? As a joke? Oh, there's an extra bit there. Never mind that. So there's those anyway. So I'll give you those. So what you want to do, but what we're going to do is, I've got these that I've cut out. We've already designed these. That's some small toppers. I'm going to use one of those. This is a background paper that I've used. You can see with my little face on it. You've got this one here. Can't really tell, can you? But it's got the Christmas tree stood in my back garden with the lights and everything. So these are my personalised background papers. The gang in there, they've got their own as well, but obviously you don't want pictures of me all over it. Right. So you've got those options there. So what you need to do is print off those that you need. Find the card that you want. I've got some different cards here too. You can decide what you want. I've got some 250, excuse me, you're interrupting Daddy. I've got some gold and silver card, might use those. And I've got some basic 250, 300 gram card, white card. I think I'll use those to dem with, so it's a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes or so to give you time to print out and get ready. It might be 5 minutes when we're back, but don't forget you're watching this live. But you can watch anytime you want, either here on Get Creative, the Facebook page, or you can go to alanandbarry.co.uk, and on there you've got your own channel and you've got your own category. And if you put in Get Creative, that'll take you to that category, and then you can scroll back and see all the different weeks that we've been doing, and you can still download the free designs for every demonstration. So if you miss this one live, you can watch it anytime you like, or any of the other weeks. I think there's about 17 weeks now. 17 weeks, that means there's 17 projects there, and it'll be 17 weeks next week. Yeah. Sat there with your little fingers going 1, 2, 3. I saw you trying. He finds every opportunity to correct me, but he very rarely does. Okay, back in 5 minutes or so, and I'll start the demonstration showing you what to do. Welcome back. Well, what I'm going to do is start off teaching you how to do the basic flip and fold card. This is a star shape, but as I said before, this is also lots of different versions that I'm directing from the store. Don't you give me a look. What's that for? What's that mean?
It was just a little itch.
You had a little itch. You will have with my foot up your backside. Itch that. Right, what we've got here, I've got the design here, basic. We're going to try and use this one design and use it all the way through, because these can be used as mat and layers.
Excuse me.
What? Oh, I better put my microphone on, haven't I? Well, not got my microphone though. Don't you give me a look. I should have had an instruction from the floor, from the sound department. Can you put your micro... Oh, I didn't flash any boob then, did I? No. Good, because I don't want them to get all excited out there. I could be flashing my boobs all over. Oh no, that's another story. Anyway, here's the template. Don't you give me a professional look like that. What? I'm al dente, I'm au natural.
Come on, they're not on you.
What you see is what you get. Right, here's the basic design. What I'm trying to do is use one template for doing various things, and we'll do that as we go along. First of all, cut out your basic shape, just roughly, like that. Discard. Now you don't want to cut too much of these dotted lines off, because you'll need those a little bit later. Well, I'm going to use those first, because once you've cut them, so to speak. Anyway, cutting that out roughly. Now I'm going to do a silver one maybe and a white one. Well, I'll do a white one. This is the back of it, So I'm going to put this down on here first, positioning it where you want it. If you're very clever, you could take that right to the... Oh no, it won't be clever. I'll just stick it down here. Don't hold it up. Now I've got a little bit of masking tape. Just going to stick this down roughly, like that. What you umming and ahhing about? That's off-putting, that is. Going, Make it sound...
Is it off-putting?
It's off-putting, yes. Now I'm cutting off my excess card, because I can use that. Ever a crafter. Save your bits and pieces. That'll come in handy for some project later on. So there's my basic design. Now this is the back, so this is going to fold. If you're going to sit there going all day, there's going to be trouble, I can tell you. Right, you've got two choices. This is going to fold. I think for this one I'd do the top dotted line, but you've got an option of the smaller one, so you've got like a stand at the back. It'll all become apparent as we put it together. So just before you cut this out, just score across where you want it to bend, and I want it to bend there. So I'm just scoring across there. You can have a foam mat underneath if you so wish, and then it's just a case of cutting this out like so. Now I'll just cut this out. We might just do it in real time, and you can see what I'm doing. I'll try not to talk all the way through it. I'm sure you'll find that a bit of a blessing. Can you hum some dum-de-dum-de-dum-de music? That's it. Dum-de-dum-de-dum, de-dum-dum, dum-de-dum-dum-dum-dum. De-dum-de-dum, dum-dum-dum, de-dum-de-dum, dum-de-dum-dum. Ow! Try not to cut your finger.
Oh no, you've done an Allen.
What? Yay! Oh yeah, quick, get the plasters out. Try not to, when you're cutting, I was slightly destructive. I was destructive.
You've been destructive for ages.
Slightly distracted then, and then cut right into my flesh. But there was no injury. Just I'll probably have a bruise there.
Petra de Pfeffer says good morning.
Morning, Petra. Morning, Miss Professor.
I was talking to somebody about Petra last night.
Was you?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Oh.
I was out for dinner last night, Petra, and there was a gentleman there at the table who said, "Who was that lovely Dutch lady that you used to work with?" I said, "Oh, that was Teenie van den."
Oh, that Dutch lady. I thought you were talking about.
No, he said not that one. I'm only kidding, Petra. I said, "Oh, that would have been Petra de Pfeffer."
Petra de Pfeffer. Anyway, we've got the first one there like that. Now you can see there's my template. Now you can see you've got a natural crease here, and that's going to fold over like so. So that will actually become the back of the card. So I'm going to use the same template, but this time on a piece of gold card.
Gold.
But you can use anything you want. You can use all white if you want. Let me put that there. Now, because I've cut the bottom off there, I can line this up there, and that saves me cutting the bottom.
I think I'm just going to annoy you today.
What's changed? What's different?
I think I'm just going to barrack you through the broadcast.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't it be better to put a microphone on?
It's better off noises off.
Noises off. Well, it's definitely noises off. Right, I'm sticking this one down again. As you can see, it's the same template. This is, we're doing multi-uses. So that goes there. Now this one, don't put any creases in it. All you need to do with this one is just cut it out. Oh, hang on. So I always find it easier. Any excess, cut it off first, and it's more manageable.
Yeah, try not to cut your finger.
Try not to cut your finger off at the same time. Pop that to one side, and now I can start cutting my next template out. Like that. And that's going to go down there. Like so. Now you can also use these for apertures, so you might want a hole going all the way through it. So many different ways you can use this template project. Once you've got it, it's entirely up to you. It's multi-usable. Multi-usable.
No, multi-usable.
Multi-usable. See, I'm giving you an English lesson at the same time.
Oh, you've got little reflections of the gold card on your face. Oh, let's see if we can see that again. It's oh yes, it's almost mystical. Almost makes you look like a fairy in the woods.
Give him fairy in the woods in a minute.
Do you believe in fairies?
Well, I should do after all these years. What's going on there? Right, you're putting me off now. I'll be cutting my finger again. I'll be getting something wrong.
Triage nurse for Mr. Gear.
Well, what you can see, I'm cutting it again. I'm just cutting round the template that you did before. Like so.
Keep an eye on what you're doing, won't you?
I am. I'm trying to keep an eye and keeping monitor as well. There you go. There is the first one like that. That's the second one, sorry. Keep that because we're going to use that as well. So you've got one and you've got two. So basically what you're doing is sticking that one over there like that, so they match up perfectly. And then that becomes the little, what do you call that? A little aperture at the back? No, not an aperture. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to stick this down. It's Saturday morning again, you see. Brain not worked. And I'm going to take a little glue, if this is open. Yes, it is open. And make sure you get it the right way around. Just going to stick this down on here. Like that. And put my glue back on top. I don't want that evaporating away. And then all you've got to do is stick these two together. That's your front. And try and line this up. If you've got it a little bit skew-whiffy, don't worry. You can always trim the white bits. Now just let that dry for a few seconds. A bit longer. And basically what you've got, if I turn that over, there's the back of it. That folds over and that becomes the stand. So you've got the basic shape there. That's your basic card, which then you can decorate any way you want. Very simple, and because you've got the star shape, that's fine. Anyway, I'm going to be showing, if you get to that stage, make your basic card that you're going to be working with. There you go, that's the basic card. We're going to be using this for doing the matte and layering. Matte and layering. There's your matte and layer. So you can use these, you can use that for doing matte and layering, or you can use this as apertures. You might want to put a small star in the middle there. I'd put a big star on first, so you've got the star shape. And then you could even cut a hole out of the centre, a star-shaped one. So you've got... What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? Is it because my mouth's not working?
You're just trying to say star shape.
Star shape. There's going to be trouble. It's a good job it's my last live one. I shall be on the Amalfi Coast, basking in the waves, in my thong. I heard titters from the workroom. Anyway, we'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes or something, and I'll show you how to use the rest of this template. And welcome back, everybody. Now, listen, what we're doing now, I've done that. done that. There's my card. You saw that. Hope you've got that far. If you've not, don't worry. There you go, Chucks. So there's that. Now I want to show you, we're going to do some matte and layering, but using the same template. So I'm going to use the second line in here, but I'm just going to roughly cut this out so I'm not going to use this bit anymore. So I'm just going to roughly cut that out. Like so. Now you can use any paper or card that you want, but I've kind of designed one here. I've got a couple here. I've designed one here with my face on it, with my Father Christmas hat on. This is very personalised. We'll show you everybody else's later. And then I've got this one here, background paper I made, me stood next to the Christmas tree in the garden. So I think I'll use this one first. Now I'm going to put remember which way your star's going to go. It's going to go that way. That's going to be the base. So you need to make sure you've got your design running in the right direction, which is that way. So then you position that onto your card or paper, and then you just trim that down, just stick that down, a little bit of masking tape. Now, I know some people who actually use double-sided, that glue, you know the glue that dries, when it's dry it's removable. So you could use that on the back of the design if you want to, but I'm doing it this way because I can. So I'm just going to roughly cut this out, make it easier to cut the whole thing out. Like so. Save that for another. Take that little bit off. You never know if you need a little message or anything. So what I'm doing now is I'm cutting the first star out that I wanted layering. So the first one here is going to be gold. So you want the next one in here. And all you've got to do is make sure it's not moving around. Just cut out that star. Now we might need to have music again, I don't know. But it's nothing more boring than watching somebody cut something out, but we'll go with it. We try to do these shows as live as possible. So when I make a mistake, you can see how to correct it. Not my mistake, but showing you how to correct one if something went wrong, which of course it could do. It's like living on the knife edge, this. Chaos crafting. I think I'll trademark that, chaos crafting. I've been deserted in the studio. What's going to happen if I need help? Oh, scurrying back like a little mouse. Or some would say a little rat. So carry on cutting your star out. Like that. There you go. So there's my star cut out. Save that because you can still use this. You can decide you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 different more sizes of matte and layering if you want to. I'm not going to do that many, but first of all I'm going to start off with this. What's that?
You want some background music, you said?
Well, I'll put it next to my mic. Right, it's enough. Sling your up. Right, could I have somebody operating the camera, please? Thank you. So then you've got to find your design, which is that make sure it's the right way up, and that's going to stick on there like so. There's my first matte and layering. So a little bit of glue. And here. And that'll stick down perfectly. I'll just put that back on the top. There you go. And make sure I've got this the right way around. That's the right way around. And because I've got the glue which you can slide around, a little bit of wiggle time there, you can get it in exactly the right position and just stick that down. So you could leave it like that if you want to. There's your next stage of the card. So I've got a nice star shape on that. But I'm going to add another one. Now I think I might do a little gold, a silver rim next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little silver. You can do as many as you like. Then you can stick your next star down. What are you doing? Are we going through? Can't hear it, can we? They'd rather hear me than some disemboweled music coming from the ether.
Disemboweled music.
Well, what's the word?
I think disembodied is
Oh,
what
that's
I'm looking for.
disembodied. You can shut your face.
Disemboweled, I love it.
Right, I'm cutting the silver one out now. Roughly. That's the rough look. Now, just get it right. So I've got that one there. So that'll be the gap. So I need to cut this one here. Like so. That's the size I want. Is it? Before I cut any more. No, it's this one. That's the one I want. Duh. So just make sure you cut the right size that you want.
Do you know what you look like at the moment?
What?
You look like one of those grumpy old uncles that comes around at Christmas that everybody's embarrassed by.
Ooh. Is that a compliment?
No, it's not.
Obviously.
The one that turns up every year and you wish they hadn't.
And they go home with more stains than they arrived.
Oh!
Gravy, everything. Right, I'm cutting the next bit out. Like so.
Yeah, the ones that tell the risque stories in front of the kids then have to be shut up.
That was me.
Yeah.
My sister said every time I'd left, the kids knew a new vocabulary. My mouth isn't working. Yeah. I have to be on my best behaviour. I've got Mini Willis here today, you see. So I have to keep watching my P's and Q's. Keep forgetting, don't you?
No.
I never had a potty mouth until I met you.
That's totally untrue.
Actually, I worked in two industries that are the filthiest ones going. Working in the kitchen and working in the theatre. The times that Sir Peter Hall swore at me from the stalls. Not once, actually. Not me. I was always a good boy. Anyway, check out Amadeus. What was it? 85. I don't know. Right, you can see I've got my next start. Oh, I've just thought of something. Look. Oh, yeah. I hadn't thought of that through, but you can do that as well. I was going to put it like that as the next one.
I'll zoom in on that. Just let me zoom.
Are you going to zoom in? Are you doing
I
technical?
don't want it to look like I'm zooming, so now I've zoomed.
Oh, so let's tell everybody. Right, I'll move it out now. You can zoom as much as you like, sunshine. So that was my intention to do that, but I think I'll just do a little twist and stick it on like that. Well, if I do that, I only need a little bit of glue in the middle, don't I? So it's entirely up to you. Don't forget, once you've got this template, you can do various things with it. There you go. Little bit of glue, bish bash bosh. Oh, I shouldn't have done to the edges. See, there's me being stupid again. That's me talking. Well, what? It's not the end of the world. What I can do is just let the glue dry and then just roll it off. So I'm going to do it that way. Like so. Actually, it's not too bad. Little offset. It's up to you whether you want to do one way or t'other. Or t'other? Or t'other? Sometime I'm so northern. Really, it shocks me. So there's your first one. You see that? There's your first. You can play around, do what you want. You can have that straight. Am I twittering? Right, I'm going to put one more on. I'm going to put my lovely little luscious face right in the middle of it. Again, make sure, which I'm going to do this straight on because it'll twist round nicely then. So I'm going to stick that down there. Try not to waste all the bits and pieces. And that's going to stick down again. I'm using more masking tape than I normally would. Am I still in shot? Yes, I am. There you go. I'm going to stick that down there like that. This time I'm going to cut out the small star. And you can cut all these out, you know, when you're watching TV the night before if you want lots of it. It's a bit like a patchwork, isn't it? So this time I'm still using the same one template I've used all the way through. That's not quite right. Let me just move that. It's covering the white bit. I'm cutting out this centre bit here. So that'll stick down there. Like so. And now I'm cutting out the big star with my lovely little face on it. There you go. Cut this one. Right, where's the music?
I'll find something.
Well, I might be finished by the time you found it. Okay, just put that here, then we can all hear it. Da-dum-de-dum-de-dum. There you go. We're even doing instant music, so I don't have to talk all the time. There you go. I've even got it's crafting the musical. What do you mean I'm not right? So there you go. I'm cutting me small star out, and it says square. You know, I'm deciding the older I'm getting, the less I can't do two things at once. Get rid of my rubbish. Now you can save that star and use it time and time again if you want to. Right, there's my star. Now I'm going to take my other star, and that's going to go that way, so you can see my face right in the middle. I'm a little star. And again, a little bit of glue. Feels like a Barclay Buzzley. I'm going to see Anne and Anne coming through in the feather costume soon, with a head full of fruit, doing their Carmen Mirandas. Right, that goes on there like so. There you go. You can see by using that one template you can build up different things. Sorry, just talking to the sound department. It's a bit of a thing when your sound department, all it is just moving the iPlayer. There you go. There's your basis for your card. Now I'm going to take one of these wonderful pictures of moi. God. What do you mean, God? That's not very nice. I'm going to cut one of these out. Now I've got my masking, I've got my table. I'll show you a few other versions. These are quite quick to make, aren't they? So I've got my ruler, and I've got my scalpel, so hope it's a sharp one. And I'm going to cut one of these out. I'm going to leave a border around the edge. There. Just cut out one of my pictures. You've got different toppers that you can work with. Obviously you don't want one of me. No. Although you may do. Unlike. Some people may want to cover their bedroom walls with it. And blow me kisses at night before they go.
I wouldn't wrap up my fish and chips with a picture of you.
I beg your pardon? You wouldn't wrap up your fish and chips?
No.
Well, you don't get them in newspaper anymore, so that shows you how old you are, mush. Right. Mush. So there's me main picture. There's me. I'm going to put that on like a jaunty angle there. It's a bit big, isn't it? I might put it up here, but I'll play with it first. I might put it down there, I might put it there. If I put it there, there's no point in putting the blooming star on, was there?
Make a decision.
I don't know. I'm going to put a gold background on. Where's my scraps? Where's my scrappy bit? Oh, there. Oh, that's my white scrappy bit. Right, got one of my scrappy bits here. I'm going to cover my back in gold because I'm worth it. A little bit of glue on there. And got my topper. Just stick this down. Now when you're sticking, I always look for ways of not having to do much, cutting the workload down. So because this is a rectangle and I've got a corner there, I can position this exactly where I want it. So I'm going to have a nice little gold border. Now all I have to cut is that line and that line, you see. See, I'm not as thick as I look. Go on, say it. Impossible.
No, too cheap.
Too cheap. Right, I'm going to use my scalpel. Use scissors if you want. There you go. And these are if you're making personalised. You'll see everybody else's later on. And just score down there. There you go. So there's my topper. You've got different toppers to use. It's a bit big, isn't it? But I could put it up there. I could put it there. I could put it there. I could put it on a jaunty angle. I think I'll put it on a jaunty angle. But if you do put it on a jaunty angle, make sure it doesn't come over the bottom here. I think I'll put it like that. It could come out like that. Could go like that. I'm just I quite like that actually. I like that. Yeah, I like that. So only put some glue on the back at the bottom here, because then I can still see my star shape, and I could perhaps stick some little diamonds and that. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the back there, but only on the bottom bit, because I've decided I'm going to stick it there. So I'll bring it down to the bottom there, jaunty angle, press down, ta-da! And there's my personalised birthday card, or Christmas card even. There you go. Told you. What are you doing? I was just getting it in position. There you go. There you can see my personalised Christmas card. Now you can do lots of different things. Now what you could also do is that, before I stuck that down, or I stopped there, 1, 2, you could have stuck that down on there and then with a scalpel cut that out, and then you'd have an aperture going through, so you'd have a star going through there. So that's very simple. So from that design there, you've made 2 templates to form the card, and you've used this matten layer in here to do 1, 2 stars there as well. Could have done a slightly one in between and done that in silver maybe. Don't know, that's fine. You've got silver there anyway. Anyway, there you go. There's my card. If probably do another version and come back and show you that a little bit later on.
Hold it up.
Hold it up. There you go.
Right, give it to me.
I'm a little star.
Give it to me.
What? Give it to you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? Is that it? Got no light on it.
No.
You're obscuring my face.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You could put a little sentiment on there. Happy Christmas. But that's just basically showing you how to make, I call them cut and fold, don't I?
On the counter.
Cut and flip.
Flip and fold.
Flip and
We've got
fold.
Cut and fold, flip and fold. We've got various.
You know, you can call it what you like, who's bothered.
Flat on the counter.
Well, you want it flat on the counter?
For the
Okay.
closing shot.
Right, I'll try and come up with some other ideas using that, and we'll show you those a little bit later on. But for now, that's just one version of using that template. So I'm going to show you another technique using that same demonstration. So what I've done here, I've made exactly the same with a white background, and it opens up like that, and I've just got a gold on the front. And I've taken one of the matten layers, stars, and I've cut out some of the red corrugated, which you can download to give that effect. Now what I'm going to do is just something a bit different. I'm going to make an aperture this time. So you can cut these out, and what I'm going to do is just roughly cut this out, this small star that I'm going to use for an aperture, and just cut that down a little bit. It's only this centre star that I need. Now you can decide whether you want the star to be like that, or you want it to fit in there precisely, or have it off-centred like that. I don't know, I'm not quite sure what to do. I think I'll have it fitting this time, because we did the last one like that, didn't we? So this time you're using this to make an aperture, so you need to put that exactly where you want it, get that as middle as possible, and using a little bit of masking tape, just stick this down. Say I'm using bigger pieces than I normally use. Just put enough to hold it in position when you're cutting round. You don't want it sliding around. So that's going on there, that's there. So I've got this. This time I'm going to use this as an aperture. So I can take my ruler. Oh, don't forget a cutting mat. Nearly got caught out then. Cutting mat, ruler.
Did you nearly do that on my work surface?
I did. What do you mean, my?
Excuse me, I'm a studio manager.
Yeah, well, I probably paid for it. That goes there. And I'm just cutting this out carefully with my scalpel. Not that carefully, obviously. Right, let's just go around and cut it out. That can disappear. And because you've got 2 pieces of card here, you need a little bit more pressure, or just use it a couple of times. I'm just going round, cutting out. Oh, we need the music back.
Okay, I'll get some.
Musical intermission. Don't want me filling the time with endless blabber. Ooh. I said blabber, not flabber. I tell you what, my rheumatism in my hand is hurting. I had to do 20 personal cards yesterday. God, I couldn't even write it out at the end of it. Right, is that cut out there? Take your time. I'm probably going to have to go around again. I've probably not gone all the way through. But as I said, this is chaos crafting, where we do it on the hoof. Create as we go along. That's why it's get creative. Not always 100% what I'm going to make at the beginning. but usually turns out all right. So how have I done? You can run your finger over, see where you've cut and where you've not. No, I've not cut there yet. The musical interlude is very slow at coming. What's that? Okay, can I have it a little closer, please? Dun, 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 dun. Let's see, have I gone all the way around yet? I've hardly gone through to the bottom.
Write in and tell us what this was the theme for, and we'll.
Oh, like we've got time for doing that.
We'll send you a free download.
Of what? Right, what I'm going to do now, cut through mainly, but I'm going to use my scissors for the rest, because my hand is hurting too much with my arthritis.
Oh.
What? I'm going to take that off. I can see what I'm doing then. Because it's cut through, it's just that I need to get through a little bit better. So if I cut that off, then I can use this, can't I? That puts to there. Just a case of a few little snippets. Da, da, da. Have you been watching The Crown? That's what reminds me of The Crown. Da, 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 da. I say you can use, I think I need to change my scalpel, to be honest. It's a bit blunt. But you see, there's always ways around it. There you go. Just need to trim this up a little bit. Get rid of the nasty white bits that have not been cut out properly.
It's nice music, it's jolly, isn't it?
It's lovely, very jolly. Takes me back to when I used to watch the TV with my mum in the 50s. Very 50s. Right, just tidying up a little bit.
It's very Friday night dance band orchestra, isn't it? Very jolly.
I feel like I should be in a line with a few ostrich feathers stuck up my bum doing the can-can.
Well, that's just Friday night.
Hello, and it's the Bluebell Girls. Do, 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 do. There you go. You can see now I've cut the aperture out. So using the same design, we've got a different effect. So you open it up like that, and you can see you've got your stand there with the aperture. Now that can be decorated up any way you want. So I'll spend a little time now just decorating that so we can see, and then we'll all come together at the end and show what we've been doing. Shall we do that? Shall we? Do you remember Johnny and Fanny?
I do.
Fanny, Fanny! Hello, Johnny, come here. Come here. Right, I'm going to finish this, and we'll have a little foregathering before we finish, and we'll show you everything they've been doing. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but I'm sure you'll see when you come back. See you in a bit. Right, as you can see, I've moved on and done something different with this one. Now, there's the original. We kind of started like that, and then I put a red star on, and then we cut the aperture out, and if you cut it carefully, I've used it again, and I've just stuck it on there so it looks like it's shooting out the middle of the card. There, you can see that. I was going to use it on another one, but I thought it looked nice on there. And then I've done a topper here, and I've just stuck that on the bottom. So that would be the finished card like that, as you can see, finishing like that. So that would stand up like that. Now another alternative you could have done, I've stuck the topper there, but because you've got the aperture there now, you could take one of the larger toppers here, and then you could cut it to size, but before you do cut it to size, kind of try and find out exactly where you want the picture coming through there. And I think the Christmas tree there, don't want to go too far, just about. Actually, you can twist it a little bit. I think the Christmas, no, that's not going to fit. But it's good enough. There you go. Let's get that straight. Let's get that straight so I know it's going to be straight. And that what I would cut roughly around the back and then stick that on the inside, and you've got the picture coming through the aperture. But you could have a picture of your loved one. Oh, let me find one of my loved one. There you go. That's better, isn't it? You could have that peeping through. It looks like a God, it looks like a pervert convention, doesn't it? There you go, you got that one. You got a lovely little Father Christmas peeking through there. You could have that, couldn't you? Do you approve of that? Do you? Is that a yes? Okay, so that's my version. You got 2 versions here altogether, and the other one's in there. Everybody else has been making different things. I'm sure you'll be making different things as well. So we'll come back at the end, say Happy Christmas to you. Don't forget we've got hopefully a special next week on Saturday. I'll be on my own, but hopefully I'll be in Italy. So you'll see a little bit of Italian, but I've got a nice project for you. Anyway, there you go. That's one version. We'll come back and show you the rest later on. There you go. We're back now. So these are the 2 that I've made. We're going to show you everybody else's as well. So there's the first one I made, the version. I've off-centered the background there. There's the second version I did from the 1 template. Don't forget, you've got those 2. Then we've got Anne's. Let's have a look at Anne's. Come up and have a look. Let's show everybody. There's Anne's. What's that one? Oh, that's got Anna. That's a personal one.
It is, yeah.
I'll keep my hands straight on that. Are you getting that in there? There you go. That's nice. I like the silvery bits and gold on that. Then this one. Explain this one.
That one is not a Christmassy one. That's a good luck card because my daughter's going to be in a show next week. So.
What show is it?
Rent.
Where?
Chichester.
Chichester. Wow. So that's great. So there's Anne's. Next, Alan's. So look at that one. So do you want to explain that one?
Just a standard card from the demonstration you gave.
And who's that cheeky little madam in the middle?
That cheeky little madam is this little girl right here.
And you've got yours there too, haven't you?
Yes, we do.
There you go. There's cheeky little madams and mum and dad. There you go. So you've got various versions there from the same template. So, as I said, next week hopefully we've got a special, but it won't be from here. Can you come in a bit, Chuck, so you can get in? Can you get in behind me? Okay. So there's only one thing for us to say. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And a Happy New Year. Ta-ra, Chucks. Enjoy your Christmas. And don't forget, we'll be getting creative in the new year. Probably the second. But watch out next week and there'll be some recorded shows going on over the Christmas period. All right. Happy Christmas for now. Ta-ra.
Bye.